feature film. Filming is scheduled to begin this summer.
Thanks a lot, Dylan. And now I'm joined in the studio by the American Criminal Justice Association at K-State President Ronnie Hernandez and Vice President Crystian Torres for Kappa Sigma Upsilon. How you guys doing tonight?
We're doing pretty good.
How about you, Crystian?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Pretty good. And now you guys just started in December, correct? And it's kind of it's kind of an interesting thing you guys have put together. I know I've talked to Ronnie a little bit before how you guys started off with just a few handful of members, but now, you guys are booming. Ronnie, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, when we started with about 5 during December. After our recruitment committee made some interviews, we now have a total of 17, and we're expecting it to grow by the end of the semester.
That's pretty awesome. I mean, you guys growing pretty quickly, it sounds, and I guess you guys have some other recruiting kind of things coming up as well. Ronnie, I know you guys are currently still in the recruiting process.
Yeah, we sure are, and we're utilizing our speaker events to kind of get some positive attention for it, and we're letting students know that we exist, we're here. There's benefits to joining, and there is a process for everybody to join in, but it's not impossible. So
now, Crystian, if I can have you scoot up to the microphone a little bit, I know that you were one of the first ones in the group to find out about this kind of fraternity that the American Criminal Justice Association offers for both male and female college students. Tell me, I know a lot of people have read your story in the Collegian, but remind us, how did you come about this?
Well, it was an interesting story. I was considering transferring over to USF down in Florida, and while I was looking into their program and whatnot, I was going through their criminology website, and I saw that they have a organization called American Criminal Justice Association, and I just started finding out more about it, and it just seemed like something very interesting and very good thing to have. And I was like, we need this at K-State. And, I got in contact with Ronnie, and we just kind of went from there. He thought it was a great idea, and we just started working on it.
And now, did a lot of the people that are currently in the fraternity really know each other beforehand from, like, classes and whatnot?
No, a handful of us, like the first 4 or 5 of us, we were, involved in other activities outside of school and whatnot. And, from previous criminology activities, we did know each other, but mainly all the other people have been, through, interviews and other things that they have found out about us.
Now, I know you guys have a lot of leadership positions that are available. Are those leadership positions that you have, rather, are they self-created, or is it, Ronnie, is it something that the other chapters around the country have?
The chapters around the United States usually have a president, vice president, secretary, a treasurer, and then a sergeant at arms. But that is just the minimum requirements that the Grand Chapter requires from us. But since I have different needs for it, we made some different positions so that we can meet those needs for our group. And so I created a few positions. They include the Director of Promotions, the Director for Student Relations, and the Director for Recruitment.
Yeah, and I know you guys have been really busy as far as assigning positions to people. I mean, with recruiting and everything. And I know you guys have had some promotions as well, some people stepping up for you guys. How much dedication are you looking for in someone, that's interested in this?
We're mainly looking for someone who can dedicate their time to showing up to our speaker events and our fundraisers. We do tell them during the recruitment process that attendance is required, being active is required. And so when students feel like they may not be able to keep up with the activities that we have, then usually they'll tell us during the interview, I don't think this is for me, and that's why we have the interview process, that we want to make sure that when we recruit students that are going to be very active and, that they're able to fully commit to it.
Now, I know K-State previously didn't have this, But, what kind of opportunities or, privileges does a university with this kind of organization, what kind of opportunities are available to a university that has this organization versus one that may not necessarily have that?
Joining this fraternity allows a student to be able to partake in competitions that only members of this association can partake in. But not only that, only members can also apply for the scholarships that Grand Chapter awards every year. And so there's major benefits to getting assistance financially for your academics, but also, you create friendships in this chapter, and then you also get to learn more about your major.
And this next question is for either of you, maybe Crystian starting off first. The organization, you guys had a speaker come last Thursday. How did that go?
Well, I think it went very well. He was a very good speaker. He told us a lot of insight things to, how to get into the federal system. He gave us some really great insight of what the ATF does, what his, personal experiences were, and how to get into the federal system. And he was, it was a very good experience.
And you guys might remind us who that was and, what he was affiliated with.
His name was Jim Green, and he was a supervising special agent for ATF.
And, what are some of the interesting things that he shared with the people that were there?
Basically, he was unlike some of the speakers that I've recruited over the years. He is probably one of the few employers that I've recruited that is very straightforward. When he showed up, he wanted to make sure that students understood what are the consequences if you do decide to become a special agent. Right now, the divorce rate, for example, is very high among federal agents. And so he kind of wanted to give them that perspective, especially for those that do want to pursue a federal position in the future.
And this is really, really, really good for you guys because it provides that realistic perspective of those, wanting to pursue the field. And I know you guys have a bunch of other speakers that if he didn't really pertain to, a student's career field interests in the future, I know you guys have other speakers as well. You have another speaker coming in on Wednesday from the Kansas Appellate Court coming to share with you guys. Is that available to everyone, including the public as well?
Absolutely. We do encourage students, especially students here at K-State, to attend those just because, whatever you learn inside the classroom may not necessarily be what exactly you would see in an actual realistic courtroom. And I think coming out here, you will be able to gain that perspective, especially from an appeals judge.
Yeah, and kind of preview, what you guys believe he's going to come talk about and some of the things that he's going to address.
He does have a program that he has designed in the past, and I think he's going to share that with us as well. I think he calls it You Be the Judge. I'm not so sure what that program entails, but he's going to provide that for us. But then also, he said that he was going to talk to us about the criminal process and how they have criminal appeals through their court and how that process works.
Now, I spoke with you previously before the show, Ronnie. You have quite a few connections. How have you developed, kind of those relationships? Was that kind of through the fraternity, or was it kind of elsewhere, or with your major or kind of career field you're pursuing?
Yeah, to be quite honest, most of the connections that I've made have been through student government. Here in the Student Governing Association, being a part of their judicial branch for 3 years before I took over this fraternity and was active in other student organizations. And part of those connections I made with basically people who are going through the legal process of becoming attorneys and, students who want to become federal agents, who want to, be a part of an agency of some kind with the federal government. And so I kind of just gained those connections just through the years of being a student here.
And now I know this from talking to you previously. You guys have drawn interest from a lot of people, from professionals in the public, and even someone that used to work in the Secret Service. I know you were talking about a little bit that's interested in joining, and talk about those kind of people that and what they do for your organization. Either one.
It's your turn.
Again, you're listening to News Talk here on the Wildcat 91.9. Dan Page, news director here at KSDB. I'm with Crystian Torres, Vice President of the American Criminal Justice Association, KSU chapter, as well as President Ronnie Hernandez. And either of you like to talk about that one? I know Ronnie, I thought that was really interesting. You having someone from the former Secret Service person wanting to be with you guys and join your fraternity, and that's not only for guys but for girls too. I mean, it's both available. Talk a little bit more about that.
Basically, when we did some research with this fraternity, we found out that it's co-ed. It's for both males and females. And when we talk about, to those students, hey, we're going to bring Secret Service, we're going to bring FBI, we're going to bring, a Court of Appeals judge and stuff like that, all those things become very appealing to students. And so I think that's one of the reasons why the organization is doing so well in such an early time.
Yeah, and it's really interesting, the different perspectives. I know you guys are looking to possibly go to the FBI in Kansas City, but first you got to raise some funds for that. I know you guys have a fundraiser coming up on Friday, I believe, with Orange Leaf. Is that correct? And could you tell us a little bit more about that, either one of you?
Yes, we're having a fundraiser over at Orange Leaf. It starts at 4. It is on the Orange Leaf here in town. We're having, you just kind of go, you get your ice cream or frozen yogurt, and just whenever you're, eating there, just make sure to, if you guys like, just to mention our name, and they'll donate 10% of whatever sales they do that night. And, it's a great way to help us. You get a nice little treat, and, it's good for us also, and we'll appreciate it very much if you guys do help us out.
Yeah, and when does that start on Friday night?
It's from 4 to 10.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And that's really interesting. And also, Ronnie was telling me a little bit before the show that you guys had a fundraiser with University Crossing today. Actually, Crystian, you were actually there. Could you talk a little bit more about that? And, it also provides an online presence as well. So
Yeah. The way it works is the UC got in contact with different organizations here in campus, and they just wanted us to go out there. We have some food for us and some cookings and whatnot, and they took pictures of us up in the University Crossings, and they're going to put it up on their Facebook page, on the University Crossings Facebook page, and they're kind of having this little competition between the different organizations. And starting tonight, whoever gets the most likes on their pictures, starting tonight till Friday at midnight, they will give us some money to whoever wins. It's going to be $400 donation to whichever organization wins, and it's a great way for us to get started. And if you guys want to support us, the way to do it is going into Facebook, to the University Crossings Facebook, and just find us in there, and just like our page.
now I know a lot of people, you guys have a lot of growth since beginning the thought of this in December, but how can our listeners get involved in the organization? Who do they contact? And, what do they have to go through an application kind of process? Are there fees involved? What should they do, and who should they contact?
Well, the best way to get in contact with us is through our recruiter, director of recruiter, which is Daniel Flores. You can email him, or you can email me or Ronnie Hernandez. And the way it works, you contact us, you tell us you're interested. We have a small questionnaire just to, get to know you a little bit better. Then you'll get to sit down with us and our committee, our recruiting committee, and we'll just sit down, talk to you, get to know you, and, see if you're going to be a good fit for us. And you know what? The main thing we're looking for is, involvement, and that you're going to be there and, be an asset to us. And, we're going to be able to help you out in the future. And once you sit down with us and we get to know you a little bit better, we make a decision, and then you just do the application, the national application, and there's a small $36 fee, and, you'll be a member.
And you guys also have a website, I believe, that you guys have set up through Kansas State University. Ronnie, can you tell us a little bit more of that? I got your email about that a little while back, but
basically, when I was thinking about making a website, I wanted to make something that is already connected with K-State. There was a time where I thought about, going through something private, go through a private server and all that other stuff. And I said, that's probably not the best way to go. If we're going to reach out to K-State students, we should definitely do something with K-State server. So I got in contact with the people in the IT help desk at the Hale Library, and I started talking to them about what I would like to do. And so they hooked me up with a few people that I needed to talk to, and then we had a training session.
Okay.
And,
yeah, I'm sorry.
and then so after the training session, they basically showed me how to create the website, how to upload, photos and stuff like that. And after that, we once I was done, then I contacted them again, and I said I'm ready to go live, and then it went live, and everybody can see it now.
And what are the particulars? What is the website? Could you tell us, the particular URL, and also maybe an email or a phone number, or maybe even a mailbox to, get in contact, the kind of the particulars so they can reach you?
Absolutely. Our website is kstate.edu/ACJA. And the best way to get a hold of us is just by contacting the Office of Student Activities and Services, which is 532-6541. And they will be able to connect you with me or the treasurer, whichever the office is able to get a hold of. And then that student will be informed of our website as well, and then they'll be able to go from there.
All right, guys. Well, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show today. Again, I've been joined with the Vice President and President of the American Criminal Justice Association, President Ronnie Hernandez, and Crystian Torres, Vice President. It's been a pleasure to have you guys on. I hope you guys are all right for our first show of the semester. And I look forward to possibly having you guys on in the future to talk about some other speakers that have come in and some other events you guys are coming in.
Absolutely.
But thank you guys so much for coming in on our first show.
All right, thank you.
Again, you've been listening to News Talk here on the Wildcat 91.9. I'm your news director, Dan Page, here at KSDB Manhattan, the Wildcat 91.9. We're on